Imagine standing beneath the branches of a majestic cedar tree, its sweeping branches filtering sunlight as a swing gently sways in the afternoon breeze. Nearby, a Tudor house built in 1926 stands quietly, holding nearly a century of memories of laughter, family, and the warmth of home. Dear friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am painting a portrait of the beloved house, nestled in the historic town of San Mateo, California. As I bring to life this beautiful sight in watercolor, I can't help but reflect on the stories this home might tell. Of the families who've lived here, the children who've played under this canopy, and the countless moments of joy it has witnessed. In today's lesson, we'll explore the watercolor painting process and the materials I've used to create this piece. With this work, I would like to connect with the story behind the house we are about to portray. As we paint this charming scene, we'll take a moment to reflect on the history of San Mateo, the vibrant community this house is a part of, and the nearly 100 years of memories this place and its beloved tree hold. Dear friends, please grab a warm beverage, find a cozy spot, or pick up your brushes to join me on this painting journey. Together, we will attempt to depict the beauty, warmth, and history of a house and its majestic cedar tree that continues to inspire people to this day. For this painting, I gathered some of my favorite tools that make watercolor painting such an enjoyable activity. I used a porcelain palette to mix my colors, a set of paints I've listed a moment ago, alongside 2 jars of water to keep everything clean and fresh. For brushes, I reached for my favorite all-purpose calligraphy brush, a size 0 round brush for the smallest details, and a rigger brush for those graceful sweeping lines. My sketch began with a soft 3B pencil with a kneaded eraser nearby for gentle adjustments. To create the right angle for painting, I propped my paper slightly with a simple wooden block. Atop is a sturdy gator board and a 300-pound hot-pressed cotton paper from Arches. Please let me know if you ever have a question or a thought while watching. I'd love to hear from you. Just drop in the comments below and I'll be happy to respond. Throughout this video, you'll notice that I create a narration-free experience and guide you with simple captions. I hope you will enjoy these creative moments with me. I will speak occasionally, sharing my thoughts and painting guidance with you. Let's begin. painting of this beautiful Tudor Revival house, I reflect on how places where we live can shape us, inspire us, and become part of our stories. This home belonging to a lovely couple carries a deep personal history. The husband spent his childhood here, and now, years later, he and his wife have graciously rented it to us. We are deeply grateful to be part of this home legacy, even if only for a short while. The landlord sometimes visits us to share stories of the house and the magnificent cedar tree that stands proudly in front of it. This tree was planted by his parents many decades ago. Its sweeping branches not only provide shade during summer's heat, but also endless joy for the children who've played beneath it. From the house owner's childhood playdates to the afternoons my son and his friends now spend under its canopy, the tree continues its quiet, selfless presence of sheltering critters, birds, insects, and humans alike. This connection between home, history, and the natural world reminds me of artists like Claude Monet, who famously said, "My garden is my most beautiful masterpiece." For Monet, his surroundings were a wellspring of creativity, just as this house and tree inspire me today. Like Claude Monet, I draw inspiration from the places I've lived. The stories embedded in this house and tree infuse my brushstrokes, reminding me how art can honor the beauty and history of the world around us. Time moves on, tenants change, but the tree stands steadfast, a witness to a decade of love, laughter, and life. In a way, this painting is my way of preserving that legacy, celebrating not just the house, but the enduring spirit to the cedar and the people it has sheltered. You saw me begin by sketching the entire scene with a 3B pencil. During the sketching stage, I try to connect with the image in my mind and translate how I feel about this place and moment onto the paper. The final painting may not match reality perfectly, but it reflects my emotional connection to the scene, how I see and experience it in my mind's eye. After completing the sketch, I pre-mixed my colors using the all-purpose calligraphy brush. Having the colors ready helps me work intuitively as the painting progresses. Then I began pre-wetting the paper in areas where I want the strokes to flow and blend seamlessly, capturing the softness that makes watercolor so unique. I pre-wet the sky and the area where the cedar tree canopy will take shape, knowing these sections will benefit from soft transitions. For the first wash, I used a mix of manganese blue with a touch of ultramarine blue to create a Syrian sky, along with quinacridone magenta to suggest the cool reflected reds in the atmosphere. I added yellow ochre as a warm foundation throughout the lower part of the painting, balancing the composition with its soft color. As you may notice, I use short, deliberate brushstrokes while painting, thinking carefully about each area and making quick decisions on where to place cool versus warm hues. I find this stage, the first wash, to be the most freeing part of the process. It's forgiving with soft edges and gentle flows, allowing me to focus on the emotion of the piece without worrying too much about precision. First layer is where the magic of watercolor begins to emerge, setting the tone for the entire painting. As I complete the first wash, I thought about how this stage is about setting the mood and capturing the essence of the scene. Painting for me is much about emotion as it is about technique, about translating what I feel into every brushstroke I lay. This approach reminds me of one of the artists I deeply admire, Wyeth. His ability to connect so profoundly with the homes and landscapes around him resonates with me on such a deep level. Wyeth spent his entire life painting the places he knew intimately, like his hometown of Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania, and the historic houses and rolling landscapes that surrounded him. Wyeth once said, "You can be in a place for years and years and not see something, and then when it dawns, all sorts of nuggets of richness start popping all over the place." That insight inspires me to keep looking at the places I live and paint with fresh eyes, discovering new layers of beauty and meaning over time. As I moved on to painting the second layer, I began adding details using a thicker mix of cadmium-free red and sepia. This rich dark combination captures the strong textured wooden beams that are so characteristic of Tudor Revival houses. These beams bring structure and definition to the composition, grounding the softer washes of the earlier layers. As I paint this beautiful Tudor house, I want to take you on a journey through the history and stories that this home and its surroundings hold. Let's start with San Mateo, a city with fascinating past. Originally part of the sprawling Rancho de las Pulgas during Spanish rule, it grew into a bustling town with the arrival of the railroad in the 1860s. Today, it's a place where history meets modernity, home to families, artists, and entrepreneurs who contribute to its rich cultural tapestry. And the house I'm painting today is a reflection of that history. Built in 1926 during the Tudor Revival movement, it showcases a style that captured the imagination of Americans in the early 20th century. Tudor Revival homes with their steeply pitched roofs, half timbering, and cozy yet grand charm drew inspiration from medieval England. At the time, they were seen as a blend of elegance and comfort, perfect for the growing suburbs like those in San Mateo. And what makes this house truly special are the stories it carries. It was built in the early 20th century, and the magnificent cedar tree was planted by the family who lived here. This beautiful giant now stands proudly with its sweeping branches providing shade and joy for us. The current owner, who spent his childhood here, has shared with us stories of playing trains in the home's attic, and now my son plays trains there as well. It feels like my family and I are part of the similar story, including spending afternoons under the same tree canopy, creating our own memories in this timeless space. This blending of history, architecture, and personal connection is what inspires me as an artist. It's a reminder of how homes are more than just structures. They are living, breathing parts of our communities, shaped by the people who inhabit them. So, as I paint this house today, I hope to capture not just its form, but the spirit of a place that continues to stand strong and beautiful, a silent witness to nearly a century of change, growth, and life in San Mateo, California. Dear friends, I would like to take a moment to thank you for joining me today. Your time and support means so much to me, and I hope this video has inspired you to see the beauty in the places and stories around you. If you are enjoying this content, I'd love for you to share it with your friends and family who might appreciate this channel. Those just starting with watercolor may find a wealth of information here, and those looking for creative inspiration can find something inspiring here as well. I've put together playlists to guide you on your creative paths. For those who are new to watercolor, my Watercolor Basics playlist is packed with useful tips and tricks to help you get started. And if you are drawn to storytelling through art, check out Watercolor Stories, where I share nuggets of watercolor techniques alongside personal stories and reflections on the places I visit. You just saw me depicting tubular shape of the tree branch by creating cylindrical shadows, a technique I've learned from the inspiring artist John Muir Laws. His teachings emphasize the importance of truly observing the subjects we draw, looking closely to understand their underlying forms. He often describes tree branches as tapering cylinders or cones and explains how artists can bring them to life by using contour lines and carefully placed shadows. In my own painting, I aim to suggest these contours in a loose, expressive manner, using light and shadow to hint at the forms without over-defining them. Of course, art is deeply personal and your approach may differ, and that's wonderful. Whether you choose to explore contour lines more deliberately or keep things soft and impressionistic, the beauty lies in expressing your artistic vision in the way that resonates most with you. I feel like there is no right or wrong way to painting, only the joy of creating something uniquely your own. And now I would love to share a personal story about how art became a healing refuge in my life. For me, painting isn't just about creating something beautiful, it's a source of solace, purpose, and endless inspiration. The subjects I choose to paint, like this home and its tree, connect me to the world around me in ways I never imagined. Some of you may know that I live with a debilitating autoimmune condition. It was a challenge that changed everything for me, making it very hard to continue my career in nursing. I had to step back and rethink not just my career path, but my life as a whole. In those moments of uncertainty, I found myself asking, what can I do to nourish my soul and thrive moving forward? That's when watercolor painting entered my life in a profound way. Over the past year, this creative space has given me hope, a sense of drive, and a renewal sense of purpose. Each painting is a small step toward healing, and this journey has taught me that art has the power to transform pain into something meaningful. My hope is that by sharing my journey, I might inspire some of you to find your own paths, whether it's through art, storytelling, or simply discovering something that brings you joy. We all have challenges, but I truly believe that creativity can be a light in even the darkest times. And thank you for being here and for being part of this space. It means more to me than I can express. As I add details to the front of the house, I'm thinking about how these small elements bring personality to the painting. The chairs under the tree, for instance, tell a quiet story of afternoons spent in their shade. The awning over the living room window with its soft lines add a sense of coziness to the scene. I try to keep the details loose yet expressive, focusing on the character of the scene rather than aiming for perfect realism. Now I'm moving on to the canopy of the Deodar Cedar tree. This part of the painting is about softness and movement, so I'm letting the water and pigment guide me here. I'll let you watch this process unfold while we take a moment to enjoy the rhythm of watercolors. Here, I'm slowly moving on to working on the tree trunk and branches, which provide a beautiful contrast to the softness of the canopy. The dark textured strokes create a grounding element, reminding us of the strength and permanence of this tree. Its branches stretch outward, sturdy yet graceful, much like the house it shelters. These final touches tie the composition together, balancing the light and dark, the soft and defined. And now I've been thinking about everything we've explored together. The house, the tree, the memories they hold, and the simple joy of creating. This home, standing strong after almost a century, has seen so many stories unfold. The cedar tree, planted with care long ago, has been a constant, offering shade, shelter, and joy for so many of us. Painting it today feels like a way of honoring the quiet strength and beauty of these things that surround us every day. My dear friends, I hope that as you've watched me paint today, you have felt a bit of that joy. Maybe it sparked something in you, a memory, an idea, or even just a moment of calm. Wherever you are in your creative journey, know that it's worth pursuing. Whether it's through painting, writing, or simply exploring something you love, your creativity is unique and valuable. Thank you for being here with me today, my dear friends. It means so much to share this space with you. As you leave this video, I hope you take with you a little more inspiration to follow what moves you, to tell your own stories and to create in a way that feels right to you. Until next time, keep exploring and keep finding beauty in the little things around you. I love you all.